Welcome back. Time to do a actual tour of Zooville itself. I've done the zoo, I've done the church, but I have not actually done a tour of the city. So hopefully we can do this all in one day. It is starting to become a rather large town. Uh, Outside, we apparently have a great deal of monsters, but that's okay because Zooville is protected by a smooth stone wall. Goes almost all the way around the town. Where it does not go around the town, it hits part of the mountain that has been terraformed. Uh, by the way, I apologize for any lag. Cheap computer is what it is. Anyway, when you come out of the Nether portal building, you come into Old Zooville. Old Zooville was built almost entirely of mangrove and stone. This was my first little house while I was here. It was nothing much. Everything's basically been taken out of it. We do have every villager's workstation, although apparently the leather worker is not here right now. Um, it's a fairly simple building, a small farm up here, an auto farm here where he's got a little bit of wheat in there. And then a very small barn filled for whatever reason with iron golems. Basics, cows, black sheep, pigs at the end. Nothing major, but enough to work for a starter town. Behind the farm, we have a random cartographer and a trapdoor that goes down to a minecart. Minecart trip takes about 3 minutes, so I'm not going to do it right now. But at the end of the track, there is a ancient temple, underground or an underwater temple, where I collected the Elder Guardian for the zoo. We do have a honey farm with trap doors in the back to make it easier to access without getting attacked. I know that I could just use campfire to do it, but I don't really like the aesthetic of campfires. Um, it's probably just me. The only time I like to use them is in a factory or a foundry to be like a pretend chimney. But otherwise, I'm not terribly thrilled with them. So the bees just have trapdoors. There's a small communal enchanting table in here. This was going to be a full library before I expanded the town. Now I still need to build a full library, but that hasn't happened. In the meantime, we have the main entrance to Newtown. We have a map of the whole city here. It looks like I need to update it again. For some reason, this map keeps unupdating. Each one of these buildings that are identical is a different shop. There are 4 stations per shop. So we've got some armorer, stonecutter. Let's see, the cartographers are right here. So the shepherds are right here. We have the church over here, which I just showed in a previous stream today with the graveyard. The zoo was our first stream. It's 14 minutes long. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And then we have some empty plots over here. And what's going to wind up happening is when I go on the tour of the city, the aquarium here is going to give us mining fatigue. And so these 4, maybe 5 plots of land, I'm going to need to renovate somehow to accommodate the fact that nothing will be able to be destroyed on them after they're done because of that Elder Guardian. The other thing is because of the new updates coming out, and the tease that there might be a new boss coming, I might actually wind up extending the zoo 1 more plot of land. And from there, I should be able to put in any buildings I need to. The problem again will be destroying this wall because mining fatigue makes it take 37 times longer to destroy, and I'm really not looking forward to that. I may play with some TNT since the walls are just mud brick. But anyway, Zooville itself, almost every building is identical. And we have some farm along the wall between Newtown and Old Town. But we do have like fishermen here, weaponsmiths there. There's the cartographers next to the Church of the End. Um, all the way through. And like I said, I'm probably not going to show you every building because they're all identical. But each one has its own specialty. So books and bindings is here. Up here we have a small tower that does allow us to overlook the whole town, which makes the tour a lot faster and a lot easier. And from the top of the tower, what you can see, you got Old Town down there, all of new buildings. This one here with the trapdoor at the top and slightly larger is the warehouse. You can see the zoo from the tower, and all the empty plots. I'm looking at building a small flower greenhouse here, mostly because this plot, like the others, is useless with the Elder Guardian in the aquarium. It's not really looking the way I want it to, so we'll see. But what you can really notice from the top of the tower is just how much terraforming has gone into building Zooville. I decided at the very beginning I wanted everything at level 64. Not entirely certain why, it might have been arbitrary, but that has meant demolishing entire mountains and forests just to get everything to fit in. And one of the things I've sacrificed in order to do that has been building a home for myself. I have been spending the last year, basically, of real life living out of this warehouse. And what I am working on now is building demolishing a place for my own home over here. And this area is about 120 blocks by 120 blocks. I've already demolished some of it on this side. By the time I'm done, I will have a house that will be huge and accommodating. It will have a view, and long term, I'm going to wind up smoothing out the walls of these hills surrounding the town. And to do that, I'm just going to lower it one level at a time until it is a climbable hill instead of a gigantic cliff. Some of these cliffs reach the heights of, 121 blocks, and so it's 64 blocks to drop. But one of the cool things, the last thing I'm going to show you, is while I was mining things out, I found a zombie spawner right at basically the level I need it to be at in the area I'm going to be building my city in anyway. Or not city, my house in anyway. And so I'm going to wind up with a full-out both iron and rotten flesh generator, which will help a lot since almost all of the villagers in Zooville, there's still about 10 or so to go, have gone through the church's purification process with Zombie Bob in the graveyard. And so rotten flesh can be sold at about 4 or 7 for 1 emerald. On this realm, however, the player-to-player currency is not emeralds or diamonds. We use gold, mostly because gold has some real value to it, whereas emeralds and diamonds do not. Gold can be used to create golden apples. This server, or this realm, has a bunch of cities. Almost every player has built a city, and those cities all have their own full villager economies, and so using gold as the currency really makes it meaningful. Whereas if you look here, emeralds are not, and even diamonds are not terribly valuable. So it's all about the gold. But in any case, thanks for watching.